Okay, finding equations of lines in the form y equals mx plus b, or the slope-intercept form as it's called, there's a couple more things you want to be able to do. You want to be able to find parallel equations to lines. So here we're given information that a line contains the point 2, negative 3, and it's parallel to the line 4y minus x equals 20. So like in the past, we're given a point, but what we don't have here is the slope. So what do we need to know about the slope of parallel lines? Well, first, let's find out what the slope of this line is. And to do that, we need to solve this equation for y. Set it in the y equals mx plus b format so that we know what m is. To do that, we'll add x to both sides, and these will cancel, and we will get that 4y is x, that's a positive 20, so plus 20, and then we'll divide both sides by 4, divide everything by 4 basically, and we get that these cancel, and we'll end up with y is 1/4 of x plus 20 divided by 4 5 times. So that's the equation of the line that we're given. Graphing this line, I'm just going to sketch this real quick. I know that it crosses at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that it goes up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4 to the next point, and the line looks something like that. Okay, so now we have this point that this line that contains the point 2 and negative 3. So here is 2, and then we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, and there's our point in the next line. And what we know about it is that the line is, sorry, my graphing isn't all that great. The line is parallel to the above line, meaning they will never cross. They're going to go infinitely in both directions, and they will never intersect. And the reason they're not going to intersect is because as the blue line goes up and over its slope, it's the same exact slope as if the green line goes up and over. So parallel lines mean that they have the same slope. That's important to understand, especially for the next section. So basically, what I know is that the line that contains 2 and negative 3 has a slope of 1/4. That's going to be our m in this line. So now all I need to do is use my point slope form with my m. So here's the point slope form. Y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. And let's substitute 2 and negative 3 and this slope of 1/4. So y minus, let's go back to our color scheme here. Y minus a negative 3, that's my y value there, is equal to our slope of 1/4 times x minus, and our x minus our x1 here is 2, so minus 2 there. So we can just solve that for the equation of the line. Minus a negative means that it's a plus 3, so that's going to be a y plus 3 is 1/4 of the quantity and so now we'll distribute that, and we will get that y plus 3 is 1/4 of our x minus, let's see, 2/4 is 1/2. And now let's subtract 3 from both sides. We'll subtract 3 here, that'll cancel. We'll subtract, let's see, 3 over 1 to get a denominator of 2 is 6/2. So we're going to subtract 6/2, and we'll get that y is 1/4 of x minus 1/2 minus 6/2 is going to be minus 7/2. And this is the equation of the line that is parallel to the line above. Now let's try to find a line with the same, given the same line as before, let's try and find a line that is now perpendicular to it with the same point. So I just drew a quick graph here of what the lines look like. This is our original line we were given. Y is equal to 1/4 of x plus 5. Now I want to find a line that contains 2 and -3 down here that is perpendicular to it. Means when they intersect, it creates a 90-degree angle. So the way to do that, you'll notice that this line isn't very steep and it's going in a positive direction, right? Whereas this line is quite steep, it falls very quickly, and it's going in a negative direction. That's because perpendicular lines have opposite, inverse slopes. Opposite and inverse slopes. So if our slope here is 1/4, it would be the opposite would be -1/4, and the inverse would be -4. So opposite, inverse. This slope and this slope are perpendicular. So let's go ahead and use our equation, our point slope form of the equation, in order to bang this out real quick. X minus 2. So y minus a -3 here is -4, which is our opposite inverse slope, times the quantity x minus 2. Good. So that's y plus 3 equals -4x. Negative and a negative is a positive. 4 times 2 is 8. Then I'll just subtract 3 from both sides, and so y is equal to, I didn't really draw my graph all that well, 4x plus 5, because they should have met right there. Anyway, that's how you find a perpendicular. You use the opposite inverse slope. Have fun.